Okay, afternoon, May 4th, 2012. Just got back in. People are blowing up my BlackBerry, claiming that I don't know what I'm talking about in regards to this word nigger. Claiming that it couldn't be from 1896. I didn't say nigger came from 1896. Clearly, the history here in the colonies of North America has 20, count them, 20, African captives being brought on a Dutch trading ship to Jamestown, Virginia in the year 1619. The Dutch word is N-E-G-E-R. The English word is negro. The Spanish word is negro. The English trying to pronounce the Spanish word produce negras. When they anglicized negras and put it into a dictionary or lexicon, that produced nigger. Now, this is not me theorizing that this is what happened. This is actually what happened. You can still hear Southern white people pronounce Negro as negras today. They are not saying niggers. They are saying Negroes. It's just their accents produce and enunciate negras. Now, having said that, let me say this to you individuals, referring me to a video of Sarah Sutanseti. Sarah Sutanseti himself said that nigger is bad. But what are we gonna do? We got more important things to do than deal with a word. That's what your brother Sarah Sutanseti said. What I'm saying to you is that that's a goddamn cop-out. It is a cop-out when you say we got more important things to do than accept being verbally abused. We don't have to fight verbal abuse. We could fight what? If you're not standing up for yourself in every aspect, you're just playing games. If you are accepting verbal abuse from your enemy or your opposition, and you say nothing, but you instead join in with the verbal abuse and begin to verbally abuse yourself, that is psychotic. It is the ultimate act of cowardice turned into the ultimate act of cowardice. How the hell can you say nigger doesn't matter and then start calling yourself nigger? You see white kids now calling themselves niggers, Spanish kids calling themselves niggers, Chinese kids, Japanese kids come here calling themselves niggers. You got people coming here now from all over the continent of Africa, having children here in the United States of America, and their children are growing up calling themselves niggers. Now, I don't know what it is about the air in America that makes people want to accept the abuse that was heaped on the heads of my ancestors. But I refuse to participate in that foolishness. How the hell can you be a nigger? There is no such thing as a nigger. No such thing as a nigger. I don't know how many ways to say that before it sinks into your thick skulls. That is an insult leveled against our ancestors. Now you have individuals posting that it comes from Niger, the river Niger. They were so dumb, they were telling us where we came from. What makes you think that the millions of people that they stole from the continent of Africa came from around the damn river Niger? That is just patently absurd. Okay, now we know we came from West Africa. Most of us here in the United States hail from West Africa. But then you have, remember now, there are upwards of 50 million people in Brazil that came from the western regions of Africa. A lot of Yorubas in Brazil. Cuba, a lot of Yorubas in Cuba. That's not the River Niger. Now, you take the Caribbean. You have Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Haiti. You have Colombia, South America. All over South America, there's black people there. Brazil, in fact, is in South America. But there's black people there all over Europe. What you think? They all came from the River Niger? I mean, at some point, logic is going to confront your foolishness. And you are going to have to face the goddamn facts. The reason why you are willing to accept being called a nigger is because you're a coward. Because you have no fight left in you. There's no rebellion in your heart. You talk that revolutionary bullshit, but you're not even rebelling against the names they call you. You're not even standing up and saying, this is who I am. This is what I am. Instead, you bending over saying, all right, I'm a nigger. All right, we niggers. No, Brother Larry is not a nigger. That is not real. Not real. And for those of you who say, well, how are you black? How are you black? Cause you can't trace black back to no people. I can trace black back thousands of years, back to ancient Kemet. I can trace black back to ancient India, back to the Mohenjo-Daro civilization, back to Krishna, which means the black one. I can trace black back, but that's not what I'm trying to do. See, for me, black is a political statement of diametric opposition to white supremacy. I'm telling you, black power. You think that this is black. No, this is brown. Hair's brown, eyes brown, skin brown. We understand who and what we are. Those of us who are thinking rationally. Those of us who are not thinking rationally are thinking all kind of crazy shit. You think you a nigger. You think you a thug. Thug comes from India. Thugs were a group of criminals in India that were carrying out assassinations and organized thievery. That's not what you are. You're just kids that's misguided. And the reason you're misguided is because it is culturally beneficial to individuals who profit from your misguidance. They're profiting from you being stupid. Meanwhile, back in reality, that's called reality check. They locking your ass up. They housing you like sardines. They exploiting you ruthlessly. Ruthless exploitation in the market of North America. This is how you got here. This is how you came here. You came here as a market commodity to be ruthlessly exploited. That never stopped. The dynamics that occur in this society vis-a-vis those people and our people have never changed. In fact, it's only gotten worse. Now, you say, well, how could it get worse? We free now. Brother Larry, we free now. You've never been free. Never. They told you that they punished after the Civil War. The North punished the South by removing you from the care and the custody of the slave master, no longer allowing the slave master to ruthlessly exploit you by forcing you to work for no compensation. That's what happened to you. You understand? That was a war penalty leveled against the southern states of the United States. Now, after Reconstruction, once those Europeans made up, they took the soldiers out. The last thing that Ulysses S. Grant did as president was remove the federal troops from the last 3 southern states and let the Ku Klux Klan loose on you. That was a compromise. They always compromise. And the individuals who are being protected while they don't, or while they work out their compromise, are thus rendered victims again. This is when your sharecropping began. Your black codes were instituted. Your Jim Crow. was amped up and your lynchings began in earnest. This was after Reconstruction. During slavery, wasn't too many lynchings because they considered you valuable property at that time. After Reconstruction, when they could no longer regard you as property, that's when they began to lynch you, to terrorize you in order to force you into submission, to force you to stay in your place. They niggerized you, and now you are niggerizing yourself. And you gonna post on my video and say to me that if I don't understand, I'm a slow nigga, I'm a dead nigga? No, see, Brother Larry's not a nigga. Brother Larry is a man. You understand? This is why you see Brother Larry's face. This is why you hear Brother Larry's voice. This is why Brother Larry telling you to stand up on your goddamn feet. Get the fuck up off your knees. Be a man. This is Brother Larry talking to you. Now, you can choose to ignore Brother Larry. That's your prerogative. You can choose to just change the video. Go watch some twerking, or whatever the hell they call that shit, with the chicks shaking their butts, because that's what your mentality is. You want to party and you want to bullshit. You want to hear shit, but you don't want to do shit. This is why whenever something happens, you marching around holding up a goddamn sign, talking about no justice, no peace. You never do anything else, though. You get upset 2 or 3 days, you march around for 2 or 3 days, and then you go back to your business, back to your partying, and back to your bullshitting. Meanwhile, back in reality, that's reality check. The same shit happens to you again and again and again because you don't know how to sustain your outrage. You don't know how to organize your protests. You don't know how to implement a strategy designed to alleviate or counter the propaganda and the measures being taken against you. And that is because you're not thinking strategically. You are thinking reactively, and you are reacting to the fact that they call you nigger in a passive way by calling yourself nigger. That's not what Brother Larry's doing. Brother Larry is not a nigger. Brother Larry is not a nigger. Brother Larry is not a nigger. For those of you who are slow, for those of you who insist that Brother Larry is a nigger. No, see, Brother Larry's not a nigger. The fact that I have to repeatedly say this to you means that you are dead. So now I'm casting my spell. This is a counter spell. When you hear these words, your mind will become clear. Your eyes will open up, and you will no longer regard yourself as a nigger. Brother Larry is not a nigger. You are not a nigger. Wake the fuck up. Peace and black power.